Let me tell you about something that should put every entrepreneur on edge. Something happening in the Persian Gulf right now should be a warning to every business, regardless of size or industry. Right now, about 20% of the world's oil that normally flows through the Strait of Hormuz is stuck dead in the water, literally. But you know what? The war is not the real reason we're facing a huge oil shortage. Hey, whatever you think about what's happening over there and why, the Strait of Hormuz is a great example for us entrepreneurs of what can happen in business if we don't pay attention. So, why should no oil coming out of the Strait of Hormuz put entrepreneurs like you and me totally on edge? Well, let me tell you, I'm not on edge because I'm seeing my gasoline prices rising or because I'll potentially be paying more in taxes because of this conflict. Now, those things suck, to be sure, but the mess over there shows us something that's way more important for our businesses. I'm on edge because I realized the bottleneck in the Persian Gulf was leaving some serious business clues. And if I didn't pay attention to those clues, my business might just sink, just like those ships did. The situation in the Strait of Hormuz is showing me three things in particular about how I should be thinking about my business. As soon as I heard about the blockage in the Strait and I saw that first tanker go up in flames, I could see the parallels to business. Hey, maybe I see those things clearer than most because of my background. Before I was building and investing with companies, I spent my early career in the maritime industry. I graduated from the United States Merchant Marine Academy, one of the 5 U.S. federal academies, like West Point or the Naval Academy. The Merchant Marine Academy is a little different, though, from all the other academies because we graduate into commercial shipping. I'm a licensed merchant officer, and I've sailed as an engineer aboard tankers like the ones being attacked right now. After sailing on all different types of cargo ships for a number of years, I actually came ashore and co-founded a maritime shipping company called Red River Shipping. And I'm proud to say we were widely believed as one of the first wholly owned minority shipping companies to receive a U.S. government contract from the Military Seat of Command. But that's a story for a different day. The point I want to make here is that our ships operated in the Mediterranean Sea and the Persian Gulf. I know that area. In fact, one of our ships was one of the first ones on the scene during the Iraq conflict several years ago. So I'm sure it came as a little surprise to my team and to my business partners when I asked them this question. Have we possibly built our own Strait of Hormuz in our businesses? Now, I don't think they were surprised by the question itself because they know I love to talk about ship stuff. But they had no idea how to answer me. And when I saw their blank stares, I described the situation over there in pure business terms. I told them, I see 3 primary reasons why we have an energy problem over there, and none of them are the war itself. I said, let's think about this in terms of one of our clients or one of our business partners. I said, you pick one, anyone. The Strait of Hormuz is this little choke point, and it's only a few miles wide. And now everything is totally blocked. Nothing's getting through. In shipping, when you only have one way in and one way out, you've got a big potential problem. This is a classic maritime choke point. But in our businesses, it shows up as 3 major potential choke points or bottlenecks. So first, we could have what I call a decision choke point in any of our businesses. And that's if we're relying too much on any one person to make decisions. If that's the case, then we've got a Strait of Hormuz problem. So, Strait of Hormuz clue number 1 is what I like to call the founder or operator bottleneck. And just for the record, any of you out there who might be on your own, solopreneurs or entrepreneurs without a big team, it doesn't matter. You can still be the bottleneck in your business if you're making your decisions in a vacuum. All right, Strait of Hormuz, clue number 2. It's the customer concentration bottleneck. Look, I'm always looking at my customer concentration in any of my businesses. Too much customer concentration is when too much of your income is coming from one or just a very few customers. Let me give you a quick example. Let's say you're a consultant or a trusted advisor, and 80% of your income is coming from one client. In that case, you've got a Strait of Hormuz problem. Or even if most of your customers are coming from one referrer, you still have a potential bottleneck. My Strait of Hormuz clue number 3 is the platform dependency bottleneck. Look, I never want to be entirely beholden to one platform, especially any platform that has to do with my income generation. For example, if I've got a good steady source of customers, but most if not all are generated on one platform like Facebook ads, I still could have a Strait of Hormuz problem if that platform goes away for some reason. Like perhaps I get banned or I get slapped. No bueno. One of the most effective ways I disaster-proof any of my businesses that I'm involved in is I ask these 3 questions. First, if the founder, owner, or even I disappeared for 30 days, what would happen to the business? 2, do I or we get more than 75% of our business from one or just a few customers? And number 3, are we on any platform that could sink us if we could no longer use it? You know, these were essentially the 3 questions I was asking when I asked my team the one question, whether or not we may have built our own Strait of Hormuz in any of our businesses. But hey, now, with that mess going on over there in the Middle East, I've got a cool and unique and compelling way to ask all 3 questions in one question. Hey, drop me a comment and let me know if you see any other business clues from the mess in the Middle East. Put politics aside and let me know what you're seeing business-wise. I always answer all comments.